Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback, feedback, feedback.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out, and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
And we are live, all the way live. You know, I heard over the weekend it was supposed to be 100 degrees today. I guess we we survived 107 when we had the birthday party for R.J. Watkins right here at WHPR a few years ago, so we can survive this as well. Thank you so much for tuning into Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host,
Thabiti Mpinga, and we welcome you to the program.
Yes, we have so much going on in our community that we want to make sure that we share as much of it as we can with you. But first, I want to say good morning to Katrina and to Errol and to Vera and Barbara and Sam. And there are just so many of you people that I saw over the weekend and at the few meetings that I attended. I want to thank you all for being out and about and attending the various meetings. I want you to know that this Friday, the 24th of this month, there is a fundraiser for the lawsuit that has been filed to help to save and defend the Detroit public school system. And it's going to take place at the TULC on Grand River, just south of Joy Road, 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Thabiti.
Yes, and I'd like to say hello to Jackie, my street warrior, also Jackie B., Brother Fred, Brother Smith Bay, Sister Renee, Sister Cheryl D., Ruth Ann. I know y'all looking, y'all faithful, you always give me feedback, I like that. And just let your friends, neighbors, co-workers, family know that we're on the air. Have pen and paper handy for information you may want to record.
Absolutely. And I must not forget to say hello and happy Monday to Michelle. Michelle, a name you should know. We have a guest with us this morning, Monique Baker McCormick. And we had a daughter on not so long ago, and she was the sweetest guest and just as cute as a button. Anyway, Monique Baker McCormick, tell our viewers, who is Monique Baker McCormick?
I'm born and raised in Northwest Detroit, and currently just active in the community as a delegate for the
precinct delegate.
Yep, 13th Congressional District. And, you know, I've been fighting for jobs and not jails for a long time in our community.
Yes, speaking of jails, on the county level, we have a jail that's just been sitting there, wasting our tax dollars. They have to
millions
guard the jail. Tell us, do you know anything about this failed jail system?
I do.
Okay.
When they first started the initiation of the process of investigating and the legislative end of the jail, I was asking why, why did we, what was the urgency to build another jail? And now we're 3 years later.
Now this is on
and
the
it's
county level, is that right?
on the county, level, Wayne
okay.
County, yes.
So you were asking the commissioners about this process.
Exactly. Then, before they even broke ground. And now, 3 years later, and $1.4 million every month.
Wow.
Almost $500 million wasted. And we still don't have a jail. So we're managing to use the resources in the current jail that we have in place.
Wow.
So it boggles the mind as to what was the urgency in the first place.
Well, what comes to my mind is campaign contributions. So,
Contracts.
So right, that's campaign contributions. If you give John Doe a contract, then John Doe, if he has any wits about him, is going to turn around and contribute to the campaign, or he may not get another contract. The Beatty, what are you going to say?
Well, actually, what's kind of interesting to me is there any recourse for citizens? Because if I'm paying for something and I'm not getting, I guess it's the same thing if I pay for the war in Iraq, so maybe I'm just beating a dead horse, I don't know. But is there anything a citizen can say about my money is being squandered and I should have a right to have some sort of input or say so in that?
Well, I think that reflects on the people that we put in positions of power to make those decisions. The voters voted Ficano out because, I think, mainly because of the failed jail. But I think they failed to remember that he could not have done it by himself. He wasn't the only one that voted for the jail. The commission is the check and balance of Wayne County government. And if the checks and balances of government aren't working, then we get a failed jail. And so that's the check and balance process. So we can now look at who were those people that agreed with Ficano, and we have to, hold them accountable as well.
Now, I've got a question because, let's just say myself and other people who are in the audience aren't really familiar with the workings of it. So now, as you say, they're check and balance. So the Wayne County Commission, can they pretty much vote, I guess, in favor or against whatever?
That's exactly right.
And majority of whatever rules, or they can override anything that is said, or can they?
They can. As a body, there's 15 commissioners, and there's one county executive.
Okay.
And if they see that things don't add up, and that's why they're there, they work just like the city council does to the mayor. So if the city council of Detroit doesn't see something that's right about something that the mayor wants to do, then they step up and they speak out against it. The commission can do the same, could have done the same. And that's, I think, the problem, or has been the problem with county government, and why we're under consent agreement right now, why we are nearly bankrupt in Wayne County, is because for a long time there was no check and balance. The commissioners were in agreement with whatever the county executive said at the time.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't believe that the Wayne County is close to bankruptcy. It would be another power grab for the money grab, because the Wayne County Tax Department has money. And I often wonder how much of that does Wautovich have. But anyway,
And you're right, Theo. I believe that there's a lot of discrepancies there, and that's why I was demanding a forensic audit of
Yes.
Wayne County,
Right.
because uh, a year and a half ago, Wayne County was bankrupt, and now I think just recently we heard that, oh, we have this surplus of money that just appeared out of nowhere, and it just makes
there
you
you go.
wonder
Well,
what is going on
well,
with Wayne County government.
it makes me, along with you, want a forensic audit of Wayne County. Now, in the meantime, what county district? Unfortunately, our cities divide up into districts depending on what level of government you are referring to. But as far as Wayne County commissioners are concerned, what is the number of the Wayne County Commission district in which you live?
I live in District 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the boundaries of District 6 for Wayne County commissioners is?
The boundaries for District 6 is 8 Mile on the north, and on the south is Grand River,
Okay.
Finkel area,
Okay.
and on the west is Telegraph,
Okay.
5 Point,
Okay.
and on the east is Myers.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
I don't know if you recall, though, one of the reasons I know a lot about the commission is because I ran for commissioner.
And rightly
Yes.
so.
And rightly so. And
Yeah.
I ran because of all of the mismanagement
Right.
of our tax dollars.
You
I,
attend the county commission meetings?
I do. I
When are their
attend them,
meetings held?
Thursdays at 10 a.m. in the Guardian Building.
Is this every
Unfortunately,
day, once a week, once a month?
once a week, and then
Okay.
they also have their committee meetings.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
The issues I have with where their meetings are, which creates a hardship for many
Right.
of us to get to those meetings.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the Guardian Building. There's no parking. It seems like every other time I go, I end up getting a ticket.
Oh.
There's and then when you do park, it's at least $20, to park downtown now. So we need to have more accessibility to commission meetings.
Do you think they should meet in the community like the city council does?
That's right. And by charter, they are actually mandated to meet in the communities.
Okay.
I believe it's 4 meetings a year in the
Okay.
community,
So once a quarter, okay.
but we don't see those meetings in the community.
Who holds them
That's
accountable for that, or should?
Well, I think the checks and balances of Wayne County should work, but since they don't, then the citizens,
Right.
we hold them accountable.
Okay, another question. Does the People Mover run anywhere close to that building?
The People Mover should run. I haven't taken it to the Guardian Building, but I'm quite sure it runs near it somewhere.
Okay.
I'm quite sure, and that is a
Okay.
good idea to
Oh, absolutely.
jump on the People
Yeah.
Mover. But
Right.
at the same
Yeah.
time, I think we should at least have, like you said, meetings
In the community.
in the community.
And we need
Make
to
it
start-
easy and
That's-
accessible.
That's right, make it accessible. Now, what kinds of committees do they have to participate in?
There is government affairs.
Mm-hmm.
There is youth services. There's veteran programs and committees. Ways and means. Appropriation. There is, did I say government affairs? Okay, I said
Affairs.
government affairs, right. So there are committees that we as citizens and the commission meeting that we can attend just to find out what's really going on in Wayne County.
Right. Now, how many of the Wayne County Commissioners of the 15 represent the city of Detroit?
There are 5 that represent the city of Detroit.
Wow. That's dwindled. Seemed to me like it was more than that at one time. Some
Right.
years
Well, the
ago.
borders have changed,
Yes,
so
right.
at some point in time, it
Right.
probably was.
Yeah. So 5. Okay.
But what's interesting right now, I don't know that if you know, on the ballot, there will be a millage for Wayne County Parks, which the commission, most of the Detroit commissioners voted against that millage. And you know why?
Because they wanted to get permanent health care for themselves.
Well, that's an issue too.
Uh-huh.
But I think the ones that voted against it was, they were fairly right about that. Because Detroit, we don't have any Wayne County parks. We don't have the Hines Park facilities and the amphitheater and the hiking trails and the light shows. We don't have any of that, but we pay for it.
We got
And-
one water park. I
One
think.
water park. And for me, I would like to see at least a dog park, or 2, in the city. I think Wayne County could afford, with the tax dollars that we
Yes.
pay into it, to
think
give us something. And matter of fact, there was just a article in the paper a couple days ago that they're spending $2.5 million on Wayne County parks.
We're subsidizing other people's parks and their
Right.
ability to pleasure. That's
Yeah, in Wayne County.
yeah. That's
that-
insane.
That's the reason I asked how many commissioners actually service Detroit.
Right.
And I'm glad that you attend the meetings, because we need to have you come in or call in more often to report what's going on with the Wayne County Commissioners.
I sure can.
Now, what votes did they take? Personal votes did they take recently to approve their own personal benefits?
Well, they cut
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
health care benefits for seniors, retirees. They cut the 13th check, and I know
These are
my
county
commissioner.
employees. County employees you're talking about
I'm talking about retirees
from the county.
of the county.
Right.
They had a 13th check. They just cut that. They cut that. So that was a check that most retirees were counting on every month.
Lord.
When they left, they counted that money to be there because they were promised that. And I know my commissioner voted to remove that, or against that 13th.
And you say you ran once before?
I did.
Well,
I
so
did.
you need to run again.
I did.
We have a caller on the line.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How are you viewing us? What city, please?
I'm viewing you from Comcast TV, and I'm on the east side.
And your
Hi,
name?
Theo, hi, and hello. I think
Your
Miss
name?
McCormick.
Your name?
Okay, Betty Cooks.
Okay, you're on with Monique Baker McCormick this morning.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get. Miss McCormick, tell me this. I know you ran before, and I've seen you out in the community as an activist and an activist leader. What changes would you make when you become a commissioner that would make our lives and serve our taxpayers better than the commissioners that are there? And specifically, I'm talking about generally everyone, but I live on the east side in Chandler Park. That was a fiasco that was almost taken away from us by the commissioners. So just tell me what you would do, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you for that question, Representative Betty Cook Scott. I believe we should have sheriffs in the community. I actually just attended a meeting recently with DPD on working with sheriffs, Wayne County sheriffs, in the community, or working with them in a task force to help reduce crime. That's one of the first things that I would like to see. And then secondly, I would want to immediately put in place a ordinance, a dumping ordinance that says if you get caught dumping in our city, then your vehicle will be repossessed or confiscated.
I like that.
That's two of the initiatives that I would like to immediately apply. Then there's Outer Drive. Outer Drive is a county road, and it is just crumbling all through Detroit. Now, you might go on the other side of the boundaries in other Wayne County communities, and it might be smooth on their side. And I really don't understand that because it's the same Wayne County road. So I want done immediately as well, and a bike lane put on Outer Drive so that we can enjoy the scenic route of Outer Drive.
Yeah, one of the things this I'm curious about also, and I don't know if either one of you may be able to answer this. I'm wondering how many cities, if either one of you know, are in Wayne County, and I say that, you know, measured against the 15 that we have, and as you say, 5 for the city of Detroit. And do those boundaries overlap? I imagine if there are more cities than 15, then those boundaries would have to overlap for commissioners.
Yes, more than 15.
Yes,
Go
it's
ahead.
43
Oh, wow, okay.
communities within Wayne County. And yes, we have a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
And we pay the bulk of the taxes that go to Wayne County. And 70%, surprisingly, of our budget for Detroit goes to jailing, the jailing process, the criminal justice end. So we get very little back in just, you know, to help with our living conditions.
Okay, question. But when you met with the sheriffs and DPD, did they talk about body cameras at all?
No, we didn't really. I met with a group of community leaders,
I see.
and we were just trying to address the issue of crime in the
got you.
community and the
I see.
violence. So that was just one of the suggestions to pull those departments together, to use the resources together to help reduce crime in the community.
Well, before we move on, I want to get back to the 43 municipalities and the 15 commissioners. Each commissioner represents approximately how many people?
In each district, it's well, I know my district it's 121,000
Right.
people. So I'm not really sure about the
okay.
others,
That's down-
but
that's
it
right.
it should be apportioned about
is.
the same.
It's
Yes.
by population, and they represent just like the United States members of Congress. We have 2. We used to have 2 in the city of Detroit, and the city was divided in half. But now that the population has gone down, there are other cities that are included, and they each represent approximately 500,000 people.
You know, it's kind of odd to me. You know, I know it's hard enough for us to get our people in Detroit to contact their city council members and to get them to implement certain things that the city wants. And I'm thinking it's probably people are even less maybe or more apathetic when it comes to approaching Wayne County commissioners. And I think about all the money that we're spending, and as you say, the only thing we have is like a water park over there in Chandler Park. So when you mentioned the Wayne County sheriffs, I'm thinking we're not getting any bang for our buck at all.
There either, right?
Very little, and even with the with the jail being built, I was asking what type of correctional facilities, would we get? I mean, if we're going to get a jail, at least have it where there are services for those citizens that go in to come out better. At least get their high school diploma, get
Right.
get vocational training,
Right.
have some type of ability to go right into the community
Right.
with a job or job skills. So
gotta
we
call
needed a
on that.
correctional facility,
Facility.
and that's what I'm hoping
Looking for.
at least we'll get
Right.
for our dollars.
We got a caller on the line.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How you're viewing us? What city, please?
Slasso Comcast 91 channel.
In Detroit.
hello,
What's your question? Thanks for calling.
Saturday was the day it appears to be foreclosures. It was a line, full house at the Northwest Activity Center. Is that the county that's trying to get these people in before June the 30th? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, the same county, Wayne County.
Okay.
Yes.
And speaking of we were talking about jails. Tomorrow, which is the 21st, at Burnett Baptist Church, we're doing a expungement fair,
What's the address?
along with Judge Deborah Thomas.
Okay, and it's located?
And it's located at 16801 Schoolcraft.
Okay.
Burnett Baptist Church at 6 o'clock tomorrow from 6 to 8.
Okay.
So anyone with a felony or misdemeanor that would like to see about the process of getting it expunged can come to that event.
Well, we got to take a break, but one last question for you, and I want to thank you for joining us this morning. Is
Thank you for
how do you
having me.
feel about the salary being cut for the commissioners? There's a petition going around to cut their salaries because of their ineffectiveness.
And I agree.
And they're-
I agree. I agree. Especially since they're cutting everyone else. They should definitely.
Right.
You know,
no
get-
care about the county workers.
That's right.
No
That's
caring about the county workers. Well, Monique Baker McCormick, you have a business?
I do.
You have a number for your a business that you can share?
Yes, I am a real estate broker
Okay.
for over 22 years and a financial advisor. McCormick Real Estate and Financial Group. My phone number is 313-268-8802.
Give it again, please.
313-268-8802.
And it's located?
20169 James Cousins in Detroit.
Okay.
And we just had I just want to say happy belated Father's Day, but we had a wonderful Father's Day celebration at my business and building yesterday. So I want to thank all of you that came out to celebrate our wonderful fathers and dads in the community.
Oh, yes. And we have to take a break now, but I want to thank you so much, Monique Baker McCormick, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And I certainly hope that you'll run for Wayne County Commission, somebody who cares and not scared for their salary to be cut on those who don't care about the county workers. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out, and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
No.
And we are back. Thank you so much for staying tuned to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. And my name is Theo Broughton, and my co-host, Lavidia Mpinda. We have just concluded an interview with Monique Baker McCormick. And we talked about a lot of the issues going on in Wayne County. But one of the most egregious issues to me is the fact that commissioners would have the nerve to vote in permanent health care for themselves. And you have county workers who need health care as well. No permanency to that. None whatsoever. I think that was very selfish. And I ask you all to find out about the candidates who are running for Wayne County Commission. Attend the community meetings. Talk to them. Get to know them. Find out what their concerns are and support them, because the Wayne County Commissioners that we have in office now seem to be extremely selfish, especially when it comes to the city of Detroit.
Certainly they're self-serving. I think another thing that should be considered seriously is find out first who your Wayne County Commissioner is, and then push hard for those community meetings. As our guest stated, there's supposed to be 4 at least during the course of a year, which would be 1 every quarter. Yet they're held at the Guardian Building, which is, I can already tell you from being downtown on many occasions, it's just totally inaccessible. There's no place to park, and you take a chance on a $45 ticket if you're near a meter.
Right.
I've had to pay one, so I can say for sure.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
then the parking at the lots, they're in business, so they're hustling to get every dollar they can, and it's unfortunate that the people have to, let's say, be discouraged from even coming.
One of the things that would be beneficial is for those of you who are familiar with bus routes, which bus stops near or in front of the Griswold building. And it may be possible to follow in the footsteps of those who attend the games downtown, football, baseball, hockey. What they do is park in Highland Park or around Highland Park, and they hop on the Woodward bus or whatever bus takes them right to the park. So it is a possibility that if there's a bus that goes in front of the Griswold building or near the Griswold building, that you can park in or near Highland Park and take a bus downtown, which is a lot less expensive. And that was also one of the reasons why I was asking Monique Baker McCormick about the People Mover. How close did the People Mover come to the Griswold building?
I think it may be within about 3 blocks. I've ridden it a couple of times, and of course it's out right now. But certainly, those who have a little bit, and it seems, I hate to say, that our elderly population is more engaged than the youth. And I bring that up because it's harder for them sometimes mobility-wise to be able to move about and access that. But we'll take this caller now.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name, how you're viewing us, what city, please?
Detroit, Comcast 91, Bourne. Regarding the buses,
His name?
Born
Moore. Okay.
this dictatorship that has taken over Detroit, purposely, it seems, routed all the buses to the Rosa Parks Transit Center. What a lovely name for a transit center.
Mm-hmm.
But they effectively have kept people away from the central business district.
Mm-hmm.
They route all the, you've been over there to see
True,
it.
yeah.
It seems like
Right.
a Soweto wasteland where our brothers and sisters have been purposely taken away from the central business district.
Mm-hmm.
And no, there's no bus that goes in front of the Griswold building
Okay.
to deal with those Wayne County commissioners.
Mm.
This is all about design.
Yes.
And one day, maybe we'll be able to take back control of this city, our community, and fix some of those things. But it's really, really a disgrace how they've.
You know.
First of all, you cut off Woodward with a fountain right in the middle of Woodward.
Right.
That Campus Martius madness.
Mm-hmm. That's where the crosstown buses would
it's really
come.
crazy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It is. There was a stage and a small water fountain and an area that had been dedicated by Robert Kennedy to the
Yeah.
people of the city in Detroit. And across from there was a crosstown bus area,
Right.
similar to what you're talking about, where Rosa Parks bus terminal is now. And Hood Research used to do business parades down Woodward Avenue, and we would culminate right there at the stage and a little water fountain. We had vendors there, and people would come and network with one another. We had Miss Black Business. We did that for about 5 years, and it was a lot of fun. And one of the things that was exciting about it was we had the Detroit Police Department had a motorcycle unit, and the parade was led by the motorcycle unit, all African American motorcyclists. It was beautiful, and then a limo behind it carried the parade. What they call drum major of the parade, and as a matter of fact, Don Barton was one of the leaders of the parade one year, and the boxer Tommy Hearns, yeah, was one. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, since you brought that up, if there's anyone tuned in who has any footage of the parade, Hood Research will be willing to purchase it from you. So the number for Hood Research, I'll give you two. Area code 248-234-2371. That's area code 248-234-2371. Or you can call 313, because they tell me there's still zone charges for some people. Their second number is 313-319-8343. Area code
I appreciate both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
319-8343. Thank you for calling. But we have done a lot of things, gotten involved in a lot of activities within the community to encourage our people to come together, work together, get to know one another, to network, and begin to support the businesses in our community. Right now, there is an aroma floating through this studio that must have been created by Bon Appetit, the catering company. One of the owners is Sean Watkins, and it smells delicious. But Bon Appetit is one company that you should consider if you need catering services. And we need a phone number. As we answer this line, Sean, we need a phone number.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How are you viewing us? What city, please?
Yes, it's the Sly Soul calling back, Comcast 91. I'm viewing you on Comcast.
Yes.
I had a question. Because I just tuned in right before I called the first time. Did we let the listeners know about the fundraiser to support our children, the wrong that has been done to the children at the DPS public school system? I wanted the audience to make sure that they do what they can to support the fundraiser that will that
Yes,
is
we
needed to support our children.
right.
Thank you
Yes,
for
we
taking my
did.
call.
Yes, we did. But we can't say it too many times because we have got to come together to support the efforts in our community. And this lawsuit is one of the urgent efforts that we need to support. And the
Yeah,
fundraiser is this
I
coming
so agree.
Friday, which is June the 24th. This coming Friday, June 24th. It will be held at the TULC. The TULC is located on Grand River, just south of Joy Road. And I think most people are familiar with Steve's Soul Food. That's the same area, and it's across from Nathan's Fashions too. As a matter of fact, I like to give landmarks because many people are familiar with the TULC, but there are those who can benefit from having a landmark to look for. And it's this Friday from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. at the TULC. The cost is $25. There's going to be dancing and dinner and a fun time to be had by all. And the attorney that has been secured is doing this pro bono. But for those who may not know, there are additional charges when you go to court, court costs. There are charges for expert witnesses and transcripts, etc. So, for the support of this event this Friday and to attend the trial as well, we need to get some additional information about that. So, in the meantime, the tickets can be purchased at the door, or you can call Helen Moore. Her telephone number is 313-934-7721. Again, that's a 313 number, 934-7721. And it's a very serious, worthwhile cause. We need to have the Detroit public school system. We don't need to have the charter schools that are basically for profit only. Charter schools can take in every kind of child in the city they want. The problem with that is, if your child is disabled, after they have the body count to get money from the state, they can kick your child out. Any children that are coming into a charter school that they feel they don't want, and it doesn't matter what the reason is, they can put them out. That child then has to go to the Detroit public school system, and they catch hell trying to get the money that has been assigned for that child to follow that child to the school in which he would subsequently end up.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate, and we see that this is a trend that's becoming nationwide. And one has to ask, what is the impetus behind it? But we'll take this caller now. Sure. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How are you viewing us? What city, please?
Good morning. This is Dee.
Good morning,
I'm viewing
Dee.
you on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Theo, I found out some information yesterday when you were saying about the charter schools. They're trying to start in Detroit where the young people that have disabilities, learning disabilities, and other disabilities, a for-profit or organization is coming into Detroit, and they're going to offer a school through the churches. They're going to start through the churches again, just like they did a lot of these charter schools. Okay, and it's for-profit, and I understand. I found out last night that they do make more money for these young people than they do for regular students. But they're going, it's like an underground movement that they're coming in silently.
You know
and
what?
Getting it started.
Dee, that's why it appears that the school, there were two of them, Dieter and Oakman, I believe the other one was. And both of them were specifically schools for the disabled. They had all of the equipment needed to service those children. And when the emergency manager came in, shut down the schools. And their MO, or method of operation, seems to be when they shut the school down, they don't give a crap where the kids go. And it's difficult oftentimes for the parents to know which way to go and how to get service for their own children. But the schools were allowed to stand and be vandalized, the equipment stolen, and some of the other parts of the building were taken to the scrap yard. Of course, a school that had a lot of value in the beginning drops down to close to zero after that.
Well, this is another pot of money that they're going after, and they're going. I'm not going to name the church that they're coming in here, and but I'll give you that information. They're coming in here now, trying to get it all set up, and I made a couple of more calls, like I said last night, to find out how much money are they going to make off of this, and they said that you get more money per student than you do with regular students. So that's another big pot of money that they're coming in.
But the other thing,
these people are out of state. It's not local.
Jeez. But the other thing is the parents need to monitor what goes on, because oftentimes those children get mistreated. Sadly, they get sexually abused and everything else. And,
I'm afraid they're going to pull the children from, they're trying to shut down DTS, and then they're going to pull these children, get the funding on count day, and then bam, we can't take care, we can't, you know what I'm saying, kick them out.
That's exactly. And depending on the degree of disability, they may only want those who have a slight disability. You know, there are many children who are disabled, but they are slightly disabled. Then there are those who are more severely disabled, which require more assistance, more equipment, etc. So.
Thank you, for letting me get it out there.
No problem. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
You know, there's something that I want to share. It is so. It's the craziest thing. Anyway, my understanding is this is not about the disabled. This is about returning citizens, those who have served their time in prison and are coming back into the community from which they were removed. When they are released, you know, they don't have identification. The state does not provide identification other than whatever card they were carrying around while they were in there, which clearly identifies them as a prisoner. And it says to me that there is no desire for returning citizens to be successful when they return. There's no desire to help them in their quest for employment and settling in a community where they can become productive citizens. We have a Secretary of State whose job it is to provide identification, to renew driver's license, to issue state ID. So it is curious as to why the state, the governor and his elected officials, by the way, to be exact, would not provide identification for those returning citizens. It is disgusting, truly. Now, there is a organization that does provide that, and we are in the process of inviting the administrators to the next Hood Research meeting, and even on the program if they are available at this time slot to do that. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Well, you know, nothing amazes me in America. I'll just say that. I did want to just bring out a point, since we are talking about individuals who are returning to society after serving their time, that I did mention last week, and I don't have that paper before me now, about a representative, I believe was in Warren or Royal Oak perhaps, who was saying that they feel it was necessary for them to implement something. This is either House or Senate bill, and I will have the information next week, but to have something to address how do you allow them to re-enter, to become educated, to become employed, after they've served their time. So there is a bill that has been suggested to the House in Lansing, and now it's just a question of getting other people, I guess as they say, across the aisles on both sides to support that, and then try to, because otherwise you increase the rate of recidivism, because people still have to survive, they have families, etc. So some type of income is necessary. And I thought about what you said about, and this really struck me too, about the idea of not having any idea at all. And it made me think about one of the president's initiatives to not have, and I guess it's just for federal employment, that box that says, have you ever been involved more or less with the criminal justice system? So this is similar to that, in that if you have this mark before them saying that the only ID they have is something correctional center, et cetera, et cetera, I mean, that's a target on their back.
Exactly.
So I will bring that up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to contact that particular representative, so that way we can get more input on it. But if we don't do that, then all we do is keep feeding this for-profit prison system, which is similar to the for-profit educational system. And I see them working hand in hand myself personally.
Absolutely. And when they build prisons in smaller communities, that is to increase the population of that community. And the state sends money to the various communities based on population. So they're reducing the population in Detroit and increasing the population in Brownstown or some crazy little center.
Yeah, some place that's inaccessible to the families as well who want to come visit their loved one. Another thing that I think is striking and it's certainly unfortunate as well is when you set up a system like this, and then you have the people who are running these for-profits saying we don't have enough people to be able to maintain our whatever our requirements are, lighting, gas, etc., because they have to pay for those facilities. So they're actually encouraging law enforcement, look, we need more people. They're encouraging the judges, the court system, you got to prosecute more people so that we can have some sort of capacity here in order to be able to function. It's an insane, vicious cycle that is meant to bring down society in general, and I'd say urban communities in particular.
Well, I think it would be good for those who are tuned in, who go on the internet and are interested in doing research and just adding more knowledge to what they already have, to find out how many prisoners are actually in Mackinac. It was some interesting information. One, to hear that the hotel HR department goes all the way to the islands like Jamaica to recruit workers in Mackinac.
1 minute.
Something to think about, something to look up. We're at the end of the show. I want you to stay tuned, because there's after this program there's going to be a morning with Tawana Morris, and I want to thank you all for tuning in today, and I want you to know that it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. We encourage you to stay tuned to Hood Research, to join Hood Research. We have monthly meetings on the second Saturday of each month, and in July, which should be July the 9th, we will be meeting at 2 p.m. at the Daybo Center, which is on Grand River and Wyoming. The address is 12048. And we gather as much information as we can to help us all make better informed decisions. Thabiti.
If you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you're finished. And I'd say contact your county commissioner as well as your city council person. Get to know them personally. Let them know that you're out there.
All right. And remember, Michelle is a name to know. Tune in again next week. Peace.